Good evening once again, and welcome to Shea Show Real Talk, where talk is real. All right, I'm just going to get right into it. Usually I just go into a whole mountain of shit and just whatever, but I'm just going to get into this. There's a lot of people out there that's struggling. Right now, you're sitting here saying, that motherfucker get ready to talk about me. There's a lot of people out here struggling and don't know what to do, don't know where to fucking turn. A lot of people paycheck away one paycheck away from just being fucking homeless. And I think it's sad, actually, in this day and time, especially in this country, where I don't think people should have to fucking starve and live out on the street. I mean, not in the United States of America. I mean, not this country. But you see so much shit that's happening here. This is crazy, and I know people. I don't like to get into politics, but people always say, "Well, it's because of the Democrats, or it becomes Republicans." This. Let me tell you something. I blame the shit on the fucking mindset. I don't blame that shit on the Democrats or the Republicans. There's some people who will come in here and they're gonna start a political fucking war. I know it already. But I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to keep it real. It's a fucking mindset problem. It really is. Think about it. You talking to a man who at one point, when I was working for Guardian fucking Security, what was I making this? A 335? No, 365. $3 and fucking 65 cents an hour. Now you probably sitting here, especially you younger folks, like, what the fuck? $3.65? That's barbaric. You must have been a slave. What's your name? Kunta? 365. I mean, and y'all sitting here worrying about wanting to try to get $15 an hour for fucking flipping burgers and shit. I'm fucking a security guard for $3.65 fucking cents and had a fucking family on top of it. How about that? So yeah, I know times is changing, but just think about that. And because I was poor and only making $3.65 an hour, getting paid fucking bi-weekly on top of it, I didn't let that be an excuse to go out and knock somebody in the fucking head. See, that's a mindset problem. That ain't a fucking Democrat problem. That's not a Republican problem. That's a fucking mindset problem. I had it just bad as just the next motherfucker. Just the next person wasn't strong enough to try to fucking sustain and say, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna find another fucking way. I believe if you really set out and find a way and not give up, something will happen. And it happened for me. It happened to me. I just kept trying. I mean, again, I don't know nobody who was poorer than me. I mean, I got stories about the fucking being poor. I mean, in my family at the time. I remember one Christmas, me and Daryl got I told this story before. We got an apple, a fucking orange, and a fucking truck, a red fire truck. That was it. Merry Christmas, goddammit. That was it. And so when the apple and the orange was ate within like 5 minutes, well, half my Christmas present was gone. Just that quick. So we had nothing to do but roll that goddamn truck around all goddamn day through that house. But you couldn't tell me shit. I had a red truck, and I cherished that. But the kids now, oh my god, if you don't buy them a fucking GI Joe with a fucking Kung Fu grip, they're gonna be sitting there crying and screaming and shit. And what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? I see this shit all the time. You rather go ahead and make certain that Pookie and Pooquisha happy, getting some toys that they're going to fuck over at some point and not even play with no more, and you're going to tell the rent man, it's Christmas time. Fuck you. It's Christmas time. My kids need something for Christmas. It's that type of mindset. It's that type of mindset. You don't have to be friends with your kids. You just don't. I'm sorry. Sometimes as a parent, you got to make fucking harsh and rash fucking decisions. That's what parents do. That's what we do. We're not here to entertain our fucking kids and be their fucking friends. We're here to raise them and show them the right and proper way to deal with things and in life. And that don't mean buying them what the fuck they want when you know you can't fucking afford it. If you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't do it. And people will go out and stand in long lines to make certain they get they kid the latest NBA KY 6000. Fuck, y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean those video games, that had those real life scenarios and just look like real people and shit. I mean, you spend like $200 on the fucking game for your kid and be short on your fucking rent. So when the shit really hit the fan and people get ready to lose their jobs, they've been spending money the wrong way and focusing on the wrong shit. So now, because you didn't save no money because all that other crazy shit you was doing, guess what happens? And now you're a check away from being broke. One check away from being homeless because you made bad decisions. A lot of people make bad decisions when it comes to money. You have to find a way to put something to the side. I always done it, even when I was fucking broke. I always managed to put $5 to the side, $2. Something I had a fucking Maxwell house can. My father actually gave me when we was kids, and I kept the same fucking can when I grew up. And I put $1 here and $5 here. I mean, I would just do whatever. I put something to the fucking side. I mean, I kept doing it. That's the only way you're gonna have something. If you put it to the side, forget that it's gone. Just pretend like you bought something with it and just it's gone. Out of sight, out of mind. Because when you buy something, you're not getting that fucking money back because you're giving it to somebody. So just pretend you're giving your money to somebody or that can or something and forget about it. And you'll be surprised how much you can try to make it so when times do get bad, you get into that situation, if you planned your money out right and put enough up to the side, well, you don't have to worry about next week we fucked. You might have enough money to last you for a month, maybe for a month. Enough time for you to try to get out here and see if you can find you another job, to do something to try to get a quick little hustle on so you can keep the funds flowing to the house. So that's all I'm trying to say when I'm talking about finances. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies when it comes to finances. We are. And I think we as adults owe it to our kids to tell them the fucking truth. No, I can't afford G.I. Joe the fucking Kung Fu grip this Christmas. I can't do it. Sometimes the kid's gonna stump, they're gonna cry, but guess what? That's what they do. You probably done it when you was a kid growing up. Your parents didn't say, all right, Poogie, I'll go ahead and I'll get it for you. No, your parents didn't do that shit. They let you cry. Or you better, if she was my mother, Evelyn, you better shut that damn noise up. You better thank God you got what you got. You almost didn't get that fucking orange. Oh, shit. Let me shut up. So times, I'm sorry, times have changed. My mother was something. My mother was something else, But we learned how to budget money. When we knew they was broke, they'd say, we don't have it. We don't have it. Sometimes we're smart enough as kids to see that our parents were struggling and doing the best they can. So, common sense says don't fuck with them, don't get to screaming and hollering. You're lucky if you fucking eating today. So, no, you got to be appreciative. And a lot of people are not appreciative. Just be fucking appreciative. Really. I don't give a fuck if somebody just put oatmeal in front of you. Be appreciative for that fucking oatmeal. Lord knows how much oatmeal oh my God. How much oatmeal I had growing up. That old fashioned oatmeal, that Quaker oat shit. The shit didn't have, you had that shit. My mother, when she made that shit, it was like, I don't know, at some point by the time she got out of that damn pot, by the way she was stirring, maybe it was enough water, not enough water, but it was thick. You talking about some fucking thick oatmeal? Oh my freaking God. She take that, kapoosh, put that, you look at this shit, now this is breakfast, you get ready to go to school and shit. Yeah, it wasn't no fucking country buffets and all that old bullshit. It was this country Evelyn. That was it. You sat there and you look at this big old blob of brown stuff. What the fuck? And then by the time you get to the table, actually it's kind of getting cold. So she takes the big old glob of butter and throw it on top of there. Now you waiting for this shit to melt because the oatmeal is kind of getting cold now. So it's not going to melt this big old slab of butter you got sitting on top of it. So what mom tried to do, to try to help you out, and she take that fork, she smashed that together for you, and oh my God. You kids got it easy now. Freaking easy. A lot of these kids wouldn't even make it if they had to just grow up on just, here's some oatmeal or some toast where your moms had to go ahead and scrape and scrape the burnt part off. Remember those days? I'm certain that there's some of you old school folks here right now that know exactly what I'm talking about. I guess what I'm saying is try to put something to the side. Try to put something to the side because it's tight out here. It really is. You know, at GM, I think they finished close. They announced they're going to close a couple of the GM plants here. You guys might have seen that on the news. It's like 1,500 people is finna be out of work. Was it 1,500 or 5,000? No, I think it was 5,000. Somewhere around there. Gonna be out of work. That's a lot of fucking people, whether it be 1,500, whether it be 5,000. I think it might be 5,000. That's a lot of people out of work. Now just think about this. They're supposed to be closing up for the coming year. This is December. This is December 5th. They were just notified about this shit last week. And so they all going into a panic like, what the fuck? You know, you're just telling us now that we're not going to have no more jobs and Christmas coming up? So they thought that was wrong. I mean, but you know, sometimes business people make business decisions for whatever reason they think is best for them. So you can't really fault them. They don't have an obligation. If they're not really making any money or a company see what they need to cut back here or there, they're going to make the cuts. It's about their overhead at that point. It's not all about you helping them be rich. We're workers. That's what we do. That's what they use us for, to work. So realize your worth. Realize that you are just a worker for the man. Now the man decide he want to do something different, and that's it. I mean, you can't be mad at the man because the man is making a business decision. It's worse for you guys, but I think the man actually did you a favor because he could have announced this shit in January when you went out there and spent all your money to make certain that Pookie, I was talking about this earlier, about make certain that Pookie and Pooquisha get the G.I. Joe with the fucking Kung Fu grip. You spend all this damn money, and then you're going to raise hell to say, well, damn, I just bought all this shit. I wish they would have told us before Christmas, well, Merry Christmas. They just told you before Christmas, and people still bitching about it. I mean, damn, do something about it. Do something about it. If you're not satisfied with the system, if you're not satisfied with what you're doing, if you want to make a change or feel that you can make a change, don't fucking complain about it and still do nothing about it. You got to say, you know what, I'm tired. I say this all the time. When you're tired of fucking being tired, you'll do something. And look at me. You guys know my story. Shit. I guess I didn't get tired of being tired till I was fucking 40 when I got into this shit. When I got into the real estate thing, I was 40. You know, when I'm just trying to get my feet wet and didn't know shit about this. I was a fucking high-low driver the last 10 years of my fucking life before I got into this. I was a fucking high-low driver. I was making fucking $10 an hour. That was it. $10 a fucking hour. That's it. When I first started the job, they started me off at $5.65 an hour. $5.65. In 10 years, $10 an hour. That's it. Not 10.01, not 10.07. $10 flat a fucking hour. And I had this awakening. And you guys gonna have this awakening too if you didn't have it. But I'm gonna let you share my awakening. I was tired. But I guess I wasn't tired of being tired. And one day I was on my way to work, and I pulled in, and I looked at the building, and I just was crying uncontrollably out in the parking lot. I couldn't believe that I just started crying. And it dawned on me. I said, I just gave these motherfucking people just 10 years of my life. I just wasted 10 years of my fucking life. I got to do something. Now I'm tired of being tired. I could not sit there and cry and then go in and just forget about it, just have a good old time the rest of the day. No, I was on a fucking mission. Martha was the human resource lady. She didn't come in till 9. I started like at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I could not wait for the clock to strike 9 so I can go in and talk to Martha. I'm riding the Heido. I'm going back and forth, bringing product to the fucking line and shit. I see the time on the wall. It's like 9:02. And I see Martha coming in the fucking back door. I said, shit, I'm going to give that motherfucker woman like 5 minutes to get settled and shit. And I'm going in that office, shit. Because remember, I had this awakening in the parking lot, shit. I didn't want to let this crap go to waste. I got to follow through now. I got to follow through. And I went in there and knocked on the door. She said, hey, Bill, how you? They called me Bill. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I said, I'm doing, Martha. All right, how are you doing? She said, I'm doing all right, trying to get all situated. She said, you got a question? I said, yes, ma'am. Can I sit down for a second? Oh, yeah, sit down, Bill, sit down. What's your question? I said, in my current position, how much more can I make an hour? You know what? She would have told me 50 cents and shit. I probably would have still been there. She said, well, let me see. She goes and dig up this book. And she grabbed this big book. Had a lot of goddamn dust on it. She wiping the dust off and shit. And it occurred to me. I said, ain't nobody been in here and asked about no fucking raise. There's a lot of dust on that goddamn book. So she opened it up and she's like going through, looking at different people's positions and shit. And the guidelines. And she got to me. And she said, oh, okay. I said, oh, okay, there's room. I can make more money. She said, no, you're there. I said, beg your pardon? I said, you're there. In your current position, that's all this position pays, at least here. I said, so if I decide to be a high-low driver for the next 5-6 years, this $10 an hour? $10 an hour. Yeah, you get overtime. Oh, all right. Well, thank you. Shit, I left out of that damn office. I was on the fucking mission. I said, I got to get the fuck up out of here. It hit me harder. I said, I gotta get the fuck up out of here. And I turned around and started putting applications in. I'm gonna try to make the story fast. I started putting applications in. And I ended up getting another full-time job that was making $11 an hour at ProTrans International on Wick Road out in Romulus, Michigan. Remember, now I'm on the east side at Crown and Avalon on 7 Mile and Mount Elliott. Now, if you're from Detroit, you fucking know the distance from 7 and Mount Elliott to the fucking airport. You know the distance. I got off of work I punched the clock at 5 minutes to 4 at Crown. Jumped in my car, fought the traffic, and by the time I got on 94, which was still traffic, I had to weave. I got a ticket one day, trying to get to work, but I weaved and got to work at ProTrans on Wick Road in Romulus, Michigan. By the time I got there and punched that clock, it was 3 minutes to 5. Remember, I'm supposed to start at 5. So other than that one time I got late when I got a ticket, I was there every day by 5 minutes to 5 or 5 on no when I had the clock. Every day. It took me a fucking hour to get from one job to the other. Now, the first job I worked from 6 to 4. At Crown I worked from 6 in the morning to 4. And I had to be at ProTrans at 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. Then I got off at 1 a.m. It took me 25 minutes to get home. Yeah, it took me about 25 minutes to get home, wash up, jump into bed, and the alarm clock was going back off at 4:30, 4:35, quarter to. Yes, that's how determined I was to try to change my life, make some more money, and get the fuck up out of here and do what I had to do. But I'll go into the rest of the story a little bit later. I'll continue the story because it's a really long story. It's a really good story, a great story. Most of you heard the story already. But I'll talk about that in another upcoming Shea Show Real Talk, and we'll continue that story from here. Shea from Shea Show Real Talk. And thank you for tuning in tonight. Man, 2 back-to-back Man, I am on a roll. Good night.